Okay, trigger warnings for anyone who's watching emotional and sexual abuse and manipulation. I've never done trigger warnings before, so sorry. I've got what I'm going to say written down on paper because I don't want to mess up my words, because this is an issue that I think it can't have words that are messed up. So that's why I've got it here, and if anyone's hard of hearing or they want to read it, then I've got it all written down in the description. And okay. I'm not making this video as a cry for attention. I'm not making this video as a cry for attention or in some higher than thou bullshit. I want to be frank, open and honest with you. I'm not going to go into details of the YouTube abuse scandal saga. It just sounds so stupid. It shouldn't even be a thing. There we go though, that's YouTube. If you're watching me, you've probably seen other people talk in more detail about this. I stayed quiet on my channel, mostly because I felt I had nothing to say and nothing to offer. I was very vocal on my Twitter, but compared to other people's videos, I didn't think I had anything to say in a video. That changed the other week when Alex Day released a video promoting his book. And I'll be honest, I shied out of making this video when he came out with that video. I immediately scripted this, but I shied out of it because I just did. But seeing as even more YouTubers have been exposed as sexual and emotional manipulators and abusers, I think I still need to make this video. I want to say first and foremost, all people who've been outed as these sick things are deplorable and ugly and should not be invited or welcomed back into a community of people they abused the trust and sometimes even admiration of. But for the purposes of this video, and for reasons that will be clear shortly, I will only be focusing on Alex Day and the allegations of him. For those of you who don't know, after months of silence online, after 15 allegations of emotional and sexual manipulation arose, Alex Day started making YouTube videos again about a month ago. I had believed Alex Day coming back and monetizing his videos was because his money fund pool was running a bit dry, but the video that prompted this sort of proves it. He came back at a time when we had shifted our focus as a community from him onto others who were less willing to move from YouTube than he had been. For example, Sam Pepper, Jason V1I, Jason Sampson, I think it is. Hooray, I'm better at research than Channel 4. Alex Day seems just as unwilling. Now, many people have described his actions as manipulative and insensitive. As someone who has been subjected to emotional manipulation, I can assure you he is just that. A couple years ago at university, I met an individual who at first I got along with, and very well, under the seemingly mutual agreement we were just mates. But it transpired after a few months they wanted a lot of things from me. They wanted more of me than I could offer, and when they did not get what they wanted, they tried to emotionally manipulate me, to listening to their way of thinking and doing what they wanted, no matter how it would affect myself. The last time they did this, they threatened me with self-harm if I didn't immediately do as they said. The accounts of Alex Day's abuse, all 15, have trademark attributes of what I was subjected to and what many are subjected to daily. He coerced them, and now he is coercing his supporters. His recent videos, which I have watched, for any of his fans that potentially would be watching this, I don't know, it's probably like 2 views, I don't care. I didn't read transcripts. I watched his actions and disregard for any criticism as Tumblr being Tumblr. His videos have been thinly veiled justification for his followers and admirers to use as ammunition against people who do not want sexual and emotional abusers on YouTube. A person who on separate occasions tries to have sex with someone who is unconscious and asleep. A person who would force themselves on women who did not explicitly say the word no. They are not the martyr they make themselves out to be. He came back in a self-absorbed ball of martyrdom, expecting to be heralded as the saviour of a dissolving community. He is not our saviour, he is part of the acid that is trying to dissolve our community. He and acidic people like himself have reopened the wounds of the people they emotionally and sexually manipulated and forced himself onto young women, and that is not fucking right and he is not fucking defendable. The community were healing and he has tried to fuck it all up in the name of making money because he trusts himself with the money he makes. Fuck that. I'm not saying this as a fame whore looking for views. I am not saying this as a nosy YouTuber. I'm saying this as someone who's been subjected to emotional manipulation and knows better than a fucking good percentage of his supporters what emotional manipulation looks like. It looks like Alex Day. It looks like the woman who tried to make me out to be the bad guy because I didn't do exactly what she wanted. Alex Day wants you to buy his book and buy his bullshit. And if you don't, he will make you out to be the bad guy. You are not the bad guy for not supporting him. You are not the bad guy for standing up and saying you feel uncomfortable with this filth coming back when he has tried to coerce young women into doing what he wants. He is not welcome back in our community because he is not here for anyone but himself. He will tread all over you if you let him. You are better than the rungs on a ladder he thinks he has to step on to climb all the way back to the top. You are better than the dirt him and all the other abusers and manipulators out there try to make you feel like. You are fucking amazing and don't you ever let him tell you otherwise. It's shit that I have to make a video like this, that anyone has to make a video like this. It's terrible that we have to have this conversation. We're having to have this about adults. They are adults. It's unbelievable that we're having to have this and still have it. Part of why I made this is just to keep us talking about it, because even now they're making videos still and they're making it seem like they're not doing anything wrong. The latest one, Karim, I think is how you say his name, has flat out denied and tried to victim blame, and it's not right. It's not right. It's not. It's abuse, and it's not welcome. And maybe now, if this changes the opinion of one person who just goes, if this changes the opinion of someone who used to support one of them and makes them go, shit, that's valid points, then I'll be happy. Because seriously, it's not fucking on that what they're doing is still going with people saying, you're fucking great, you're fucking great. You know, you raped that girl, you had sex with that person without their consent, you tried to sexually abuse that person, you emotionally manipulated that person, you're a dickhead. The people who are supporting them are, I hope, trolls and people who don't understand what consent is. If you don't understand what consent is, listen to Jack and Dean's song. I personally think it's an okay song, but it's got a good message. It's got a good message. You don't do anything without someone's consent, you dick. You can tell which part was scripted and which wasn't, can't you? I'm done. I'm done. I've said my piece. I've said my piece.